If you can't kill a boss, no reason why you can't look like one. Moogle putting the WoW in transmogs. So this is for warriors who like the color blue and kind of think they might be RoboCop in some sort of way. The shoulders, Razorfin Shoulder Guards, Isle Expeditions. You can pick it up from Isle Expeditions. It's dropped there. Not a great drop rate, but you could also buy it on the auction house. Keep in mind, those drops from Isle Expeditions are going to go down, down, down as we progress. Uldir Heroic to get the chest, that's pretty easy to get now. You might already have it, actually. The belt, the Shell Buckle Girdle, of course, you can get out of Zuldazar or Stormshong Valley. Tortelian Seeker, sell it. It's kind of cheap and kind of obsolete now, but you can still pick it up. The Legs, Greaves of Unending Vigil. Uldir Heroic, Talik is the boss, and yes, part of the same tier set as the chest piece. Now, we're gonna show you the feet, Fearless Combatant Plate War Boots. That's the Alliance version. It's gonna cost you some marks of honor. You gotta buy the whole set if you don't have those boots. Moving on to the hands, Razorfin Gauntlets, part of the same tier set as the shoulders and the head from Isle Expeditions. Pick it up from the Expeditions, buy it on the auction house, best way to go. Various prices, various servers, so I can't even give you an idea what it'll cost, but I will say it's going to go down as we progress further through Baffled by Azeroth. The Mistcape Cloak is the blue cloak, and the Razorfin Helm, Isle Expeditions. Isle Expeditions, auction house, pretty easy pickup there. And last but not least, the weapon, straight out of Icecrown Citadel, normal 25-man Lord Marigar. Okay, this is for Alliance only, honestly. Mantle of Looming Darkness, Siege of Orgrimmar, LFR. Garage Hellscream, 15% on the drop rate. Now, that's a Paladin tier, but the Paladin tier, which is also the belt and the shoulders and the gloves, all these are the pieces that DKs and Warriors can pick up. Chest piece is the Stormwind Chest Guard, Garrison, Dwarven Bunker, War Mill's a boo-boo. Made a mistake there. Iron Horde scraps to get that. You get it just Alliance only from your Garrison. Great Belt of Living Water, Siege of Orgrimmar, LFR, Tears of the Veil, 16% on the drop rate. Why is there an undead show in an Alliance-only set? Great question. I kind of want to give people ideas. You know, you don't have to go with this set exactly, but maybe it gives you an idea to improve it, make it better, or make it just fit your tastes. I'm all for it. Hey, you know, big thing with transmogs is they are subjective. Very hard to be objective when it comes to transmogs. The feet, as you can see, another PvP piece from WoD. That's Alliance only. The hands, Gauntlets of Winged Triumph, Siege of Orgrimmar, LFR, General Nazgrim. He was a great guy until he betrayed everybody. And the back is the 7th Legionnaire's Cloak, Borealis, 7th Legionnaire, or Legion. It's very Roman-like, right? Legionnaire. The headpiece is out of Macquarie, Ancient Eridar Cache, kind of a fair drop rate, so if you're Kultiran, you can go find that. Speaking of Kultiran, he's showing us the Gilneas Tavern, which is from Darnarsis. In my earlier take, I said Daenerys, that's why I had to redo it. Made a boo-boo. Hateful Gladiators, Great Sword, Wrath of the Lich King, PvP vendor. There's no doubt this particular look will strike fear into your enemy, especially with the Berserker buff and Bladestorm. Spolders of Vile Determination. This is from Black Temple Time Walking Mistress. That's not a word, Luxeley. It's Mistress. Yeah, that's where you get it. Antares the Burning Throne to get the chest piece. Garathi Worldbreakers drop at 5% on the drop rate. Now we're going to move on to the belt. This is pretty much a very intact set, but I thought we made a few changes here and there, and I think it really, really works for Warriors, so that's why I'm showing it. Usually I don't show a full raid drop set like this. The legs on the Burning Throne, Varimathras, 12% on the drop rate for the legs. Moving on to the boots, and we have a Worgen showing the boots. Actually, it's one of a few sets that might look good on a Worgen here. Blackrock Greaves from your Garrison, Dwarven Bunker, or the War Mill, Iron Horde scraps to pick that up. So it's one of the few pieces that is not part of the tier set from Legion. Speaking of the Legion set, yes, the hands are part of that tier set. Argus the Unmaker drops the hands at about a 5% drop rate. I think the shoulders might drop out of Burning Throne as well, but there's a better drop rate in that Time Walking raid. As you can see, Gilded Thorian Cloak once again making an appearance. What a shock. Titan Subjugator's Visage, which is the Burning Throne, Garathi Annihilator. 5% on the drop rate for that. And the weapon really ties the set in straight out of Firelands Heroic. This set is so badass it made the dwarf scared. I mean, doesn't she look scared? I think she looks scared. Let me know in the comments. Broken Shore to get the shoulders. As you can see, Scythe will drop it at a fair rate. Moving on, we are going to show you the Wormskull breastplate, which is out of the Nexus various mobs. You can just step up, buy it on the auction house. That's a set that drops from dungeons, Wrath of the Lich King dungeons, basically, where you can buy it on the auction house. The belt, Crucible of Storms, as you can see, the boss 5% on the drop rate for the belt. Moving on, the legs, part of the same raid drop set or dungeon drop set from Wrath of the Lich King. Get this, the Wormskull leg plates, they're called, from the Nexus various mobs, or you can buy it on the auction house. Probably the best way to go, and I do believe there are lookalikes, probably something you already have. Iron Ballast Sabatons, Tomb of Sargeras, Mistress Sazine, 5% on the drop rate for those. Now we're going to flip and turn the page. Hands, Ground Shatter Gauntlets, Tomb of Sargeras, Fallen Avatar, kind of up in the drop rate at up to 12% for the hands. So that's part of a warrior tier set. The shoulders, the hands, and the boots. The head is straight out of Dark Moon Isle. Death Metal Knight drops that. And the Tabard, Army of the Light Tabard, and Taran Waste, Army of the Light Emissary, Rep and Gold. Pick that up. And we're going to go with the weapon out of Uldir, Mithrax the Unraveler. I'm really digging this gray, brown, orange look for warriors. Shoulder plates of the Obsidian aspect. Mythic Nighthold, getting easier to pick up. Tichondrius is the boss, kind of a low drop rate for the chest. Now we're going to move on to the belt, which is, well, not the belt, I'm sorry, to the chest. Geocrag chestplate from Isle Expeditions, or you could just step up, buy it on the auction house. Now, the interesting thing about these pieces you get from Isle Expeditions, even if you get a piece that you can't use, you can try to sell it, use that gold to buy the piece that you do need. The belt, Poison Binder Girth, Siege of Orgrimmar Mythic, Suntend to Heart, decent drop rate for the belt. Now we're moving out of MOP, and we're moving back to BFA, Baffled by Azerite. Geocrag Lagards, Isle of Expeditions. Pick it up from the Expeditions or buy it on the auction house. Your choice. Walking very slow as a Zandalari Troll. He's trampling war boots. And it's the Emerald Nightmare Mythic. Ursoc is the boss, 8% on the drop rate. Why does Zandalari walk so slow? I don't know. Gauntlets of the Obsidian aspect. Basically, Nighthold Mythic, Star, Agarar, oh god, that's a tongue twist. I cannot pronounce that right now. I'll call it SAE. The back is a quest from Warlords of Draenor, the fun. I made a boo-boo on that. It's a quest in Gorgrond. And the head is straight out of Heart of Fear. Garalon is the boss, 15% on the drop rate. And we're going to show you the weapon, which really works with this set, the Black Hand. Black Rock Foundry, Black Hand. Here's a celery green kind of look for warriors. For warriors who love green, I love the Vicious Gladiator set for warriors. I think it's a great set. Matter of fact, most of the Cata sets for classes across the board, except Hunters, are pretty epic. The chess piece is bringing us to the Eternal Palace Heroic. Lady Ashvane drops the barnacle-crusted breastplate. What else would you call the green breastplate? Moving on to the belt, which is going to bring us to... I was going to say Legion, but that would be incorrect. It is MOP, Siege of Orgrimmar, LFR, Suntend to Heart, 18% for the Poison Binder Girth. Make sure you're an LFR version. This dwarf has a lot of energy. To drink a lot of coffee before he did this video. Tide Goddesses, Wargreaves, the Eternal Palace Heroic, part of the same tier set as the chest. Queen Azara, 5% on the drop rate. Moving on to the feet, Vicious Gladiators, War Boots of Alacrity, of course. Cata PvP vendor, 2 marks of honor to get the boots. Next up, the hands, pretty easy to get as well. Vicious Gladiators play Gauntlets, PvP vendor. Of course, that is the Cata PvP vendor, located in either Stormwind or Orgrimmar. 2 marks of honor to get those. And the back, Notorious Aspirant Shawl, BFA PvP sources. I think that's Alliance only, if I'm not mistaken. And the Rage Blind Great Helm, Siege of Orgrimmar LFR, upon the same tier set as the belt. And next up, the weapon. Love this weapon from Shadow Moon Valley. It's Quest Reward. If you're still listening up and until now, I want to say thank you for watching. And I'll close out by saying what I always say, whatever it is by you, whether it is morning, afternoon, or night, make your day epic.